Welcome everyone to the Avengers podcast, where we're talking Marvel, DC, Star Wars, and more. I'm your host Torn, and with me is my co-host Peyton.
Yo,
we have a great show for everyone this week. We'll be talking about Loki season 2 and the Marvels and the news of the week. There'll be time codes in the description of the show notes if you want to jump around. And with that, here's Peyton with the news.
All right, we got a lot to cover. We got Loki, the Marvels, and so much news. So yeah, we got to get into it real quick. First thing is first. Huge news. Thank God SAG-AFTRA and the studios have finally reached an agreement. The strike is over. Now, I do believe that the actors still have to vote to ratify the agreement, but that's kind of like, it's kind of a done deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So thank God everyone's getting back to work. Everything seems good. The biggest thing that was sort of holding us back was AI and the studios, wanting to just use AI to resurrect like dead actors and not use extras and shit like that, which is really annoying. But, they seem to have gotten what they've wanted. But again, this is a 3-year agreement. AI and this sort of tech is just growing exponentially just within the past year. I mean, it's grown so much. So in 3 years, who knows where it'll be? So we're probably gonna have to go through this entire charade again in 3 years. But it's still very, very, very good thing that the actor strike is over, and everyone can finally get back to work, and things can finally get on track again. So that is fantastic. But next up we have some DC news, and I'm crushed, but it's also kind of expected just with the way things have been going. Superman and Lois will end with season 4 on the CW, and I
know. Yeah, I'm. It's a thing to where it's bittersweet. It's like, dang, like it's ending, but I'm glad that it's ending on such a high bar in the series. Who knows how season 4 is, and it's also a thing to where they're not making it, like they're not stretching it as far as they need to.
They're not beating a dead horse like the Flash.
Yeah, the Flash, and
it's gonna be 4.
I'm not gonna say this other show, but whatever.
It's gonna be 4. Hopefully season 4 lives up to the past 3 seasons, and if it does, it's going to be one of those shows that people are going to look back on and be like, damn, that was fucking great, and it didn't overstay its welcome. So it's, you're right, it's bittersweet, but man.
And it's one of the things too where it's like with Superman and Lois, I'm always, people are always like, it's one of the things where like Superman and Lois isn't really like underrated, but I would say it's like underappreciated because it still falls under like the show that's in the CW.
Yeah, everyone that sees it loves it, but everyone that hasn't seen it's like, it's just CW trash.
Yeah, no, I know. Like, I had to like beg someone to like watch Superman and Lois because like it's like seriously some of the best Superman content that we have gotten in like recent years. And I always like tell them, like I always laugh about it. I was like, yeah, I know CW is like really bad, but like they somehow managed to nail Superman to like a T, which is really ironic. We say that all the time because it's true. But it's also like fantastic because it's like we're tired of Superman just having like bad content in media besides like games and comics or whatever. And so Superman and Lois is literally one of the best superhero shows like ever, in my opinion. So it's just great to see.
It is the best superhero show. I don't give a fuck what people say. Ooh, Smallville's ass. I don't give a fuck. Straight garbage.
I think Smallville is like,
look, for the time.
Yeah, no,
sure.
For the time is great, and I think it's one of the things where for Smallville I can respect it enough for me to be like, okay, this is Tom Welling Superman.
Yeah,
he has like some great
people
stuff.
like ooh, the best Superman is Tom Welling. In what world? In what universe?
I mean, I know like a Tom Welling like niche of fans out there. They're out there for sure. But it's also a thing to where it's like with Smallville, I definitely have tried. I've watched Smallville like on and off when I was like a kid, and like trying to watch it now recently. It's one of the things where it's like I can't really get into it because of what I know goes on in the show. And also it's like because it's like early CW, it falls under like these tropes that I just don't like in media right now. So, and it's also just like I mean, 10 seasons is fine if I am like able to binge it with like anything going on in my life, but like right now I just can't do it right now.
Best thing Smallville ever did was that Christopher Reeve cameo. It's a great scene.
No, the best thing that they ever did was never adapting the suit, because
true. Well, that's Tom Welling's fault.
Why would Tom Welling wear the suit?
It's Tom Welling's fault. He's the one that didn't want to wear it. I'm upset.
I'm really upset to this day. Anyways,
yeah.
Continue.
Venom 3 has been delayed to November 8th, 2024. Hopefully they delay it forever. I don't want to see this shit.
I knew you were going to say it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see some goo fight some more goo for a third time.
What a menace.
Trash ass movies.
Dear one Venom hater, bro.
This is according to Variety. When the release date for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania was moved up, VFX artists were squeezed even further, with many having to work 14-hour days and no overtime.
Oh my god. Please pay your VFX workers.
Well, they're unionizing.
I know they are.
First, Marvel unionized, the Marvel VFX people, and then the Disney VFX people unionized. So I guess they work under a separate banner, Marvel VFX and Disney VFX. Regardless, great shit. Good thing for them unionizing. Took them long enough. God damn, it's their fault. No, right? I'm kidding.
I know. It took them like so many projects later. I mean, like, it's better late than never.
Yeah. But yeah, that is rough. But this is also according to Variety. Marvel has recently had talks about bringing back the original cast for a new Avengers movie, which would include reviving Iron Man and Black Widow, but they haven't committed to the idea yet. How about we don't?
No, let's not.
How about we don't
do that? How about we get like just variants from now on? Like, I want to see other people in the role. Hey, maybe even Tom Cruise.
No. That's
bro, why not, bro?
I don't like Tom Cruise.
You binge watch Mission Impossible.
I like the Mission Impossible. No. Here's my thing with Tom Cruise. I don't like him as an actor or a person, but he makes some damn good action movies, man. He makes some good movies. I mean, I don't think he's a great actor.
And no, I mean, dude, I don't know, man. Dude, you binge like the entirety of Mission Impossible.
I did, and they're good movies, except 2. But
yeah, except 2 and 3, right?
No, 3's cool. It's just 2.
Oh,
2's the only bad one.
Oh,
so but yeah, they're good movies. I just don't like him as an actor. I don't think he's a strong actor, but he's good at what he does action wise. Just stick to that.
Yeah, so you want a Tom Cruise action movie without him talking? Yeah,
basically. It's just facial expressions. Actually, he's not good at that either. Maybe just don't have Tom Cruise in it.
you want a deep fake AI Tom Cruise?
Yeah. Because he knows what he's doing. Like, maybe I think Tom Cruise would be an incredible like producer or even a director. I don't like him as an actor though. Regardless,
it's okay.
No. Anyway, back to the Avengers thing. This is according to Entertainment Tonight. Kevin Feige says that they actually haven't had recent talks about Iron Man and Black Widow returning for an Avengers movie, but he did say, quote, "In terms of them returning, we'll have to see," which is Secret Wars, obviously.
Of course.
And this is according to Variety. There's a bunch of stuff according to Variety. There's a huge Marvel article that came out in Variety. Marvel execs have begun to reconsider focusing on Jonathan Majors' Kang for the next saga. They are now discussing backup plans, including pivoting to someone like Doctor Doom. How about we don't?
Yeah,
if there's one thing that'll piss me off, look, I love most of what the MCU does. Am I a shill? I don't think so, but I have my criticisms, and we'll talk about that later. But if there's one thing I hate more, if there's one thing I hate, if there's one thing that Marvel Studios could do that'll make me like genuinely upset, is something like they did with Star Wars, which is not fucking doubling down. Like finish what you started. You know what I mean? Like they did Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and then they were like, oh, and they got scared and did The Rise of Skywalker. If they did all this stuff with Kang, just if it all the Jonathan Majors stuff turns out to be true, just recast.
Yeah, it's not the first time that Marvel's done it, because yeah, I saw something like this, like, you know, of course, Bruce Banner is being recast. Like so many other actors have been like recasted. like Howard Stark got recasted, Rhodey got recasted, and it would also make sense if Kang was recasted because there's just so many of them. Have it be to where this isn't the only like Kang, like Kang's like literally like infinite. So it would literally just make sense if that's like, yeah, they're recasting.
Yeah, and there's people that are like, oh well, after the Loki season 2 finale, which we'll talk about, after the Loki season 2 finale, there's no way they can like recast. Yes, they can. They totally can.
Of course they can.
But like, and pivoting to Doctor Doom, they actually haven't talked about pivoting to Doctor Doom. That's just an example. Like, I would love Doctor Doom, but not now. like we got to give that man time to, you know, really build.
Yeah, you know, it's a thing to where like Doctor Doom is like he's such a big name that you really need to like you really need to give that man some time, because like once he's there, he never leaves. Like, that's the thing with Doctor Doom.
Imagine if they kill Doctor Doom.
If they kill Doctor Doom, I will done with the MCU. Like I think like I just think that like I will just stop watching Marvel movies like forever if they're part of the MCU. I'm just not doing that.
Keep killing all villains. Keep doing it.
They do kill a lot of villains, but like that's the thing with like this phase and upwards. Like they should not like kill like their big name villains.
Yeah,
they should just like have them like linger around still. Like it's I swear I think like I would like genuinely like cry if that happens.
Yeah, but this is according to Variety. Mahershala Ali was ready to exit Blade over script issues, but they got Michael Green, who did Logan. He's been hired to write the script from scratch, with the film now to be made on a budget of less than $100 million.
You said less than $1 billion?
less than $100 million.
Wait, he's getting paid right for less than $100 million?
No, that's the movie's budget.
Oh, my fault. Yeah, I did hear about that. I didn't know the script was like horrible from what I saw online.
Yeah,
if that's even true. So
Mahershala Ali getting like ready to exit, I guess I could see that. But like, he seems so amped up about this, and Feige seems to, the fact that they've gone through so many writers and directors, clearly they want this to work. So it's not like they're like, hey, Mahershala Ali, you're gonna do whatever we say you're gonna do. You know what I mean? They want it to work. So that you know, has me excited. Also, the director of Blade said that it's gonna be rated R.
Yes, sir.
Which is fucking awesome. But the fact that Michael Green, the guy who did Logan, like Logan, in my opinion, is still definitely top three best superhero movies ever made. So that he's writing Blade, I mean, I'm excited. I was excited for Blade already, but the fact that we're getting this kind of writer, and God, I really can't wait to see this movie because Mahershala Ali is just gonna murder that role. Fucking love that guy.
He's incredible.
We also got the Echo trailer.
It's so fire, dude. It looks so good.
So fucking good. So good. You want to know something?
It's gonna be TVMA.
Yes, it is gonna be TVMA, which is also exciting. They keep like like Marvel's first F-bomb, think it's gonna be Deadpool? Nah, it's in Guardians 3. Marvel's first rated R thing, you think it's gonna be Deadpool? Nah, it's Echo. So but yeah, it is gonna be TVMA, but no, it's 5 episodes.
Oh my god, dude.
It's 5 episodes, but they all release at the same time on January 10th. So I guess that's some silver lining.
They better be like an hour and 30 minutes long, bro. I'm tired of this.
It's not gonna happen.
I know, and that's what hurts.
But the thing is, behind the scenes, it seemed like there was stuff in articles, like we definitely talked about on the podcast, like at some point, probably like last year or something, that Echo was going through some like issues behind the scenes, but at the same time, there's like there's been other reports. There's been reports that have said like, ooh, Echo's not looking too great. It doesn't seem like it's going to be good. But there's also been reports that say it's going to be Disney Plus's best series. So I don't know what. I mean, obviously you got to take all this with a grain of salt. But ultimately, we're going to make up our own minds when we actually see it January 10th, which is not that far away.
I've seen when you sent me the trailer, because I was on set. And I was looking through the comments and people were like, you know what? Like, this actually looks really good. I'm actually excited. And I'm like, okay, like we're seeing the Band-Aid being put on the wound right now. Yeah. And people are actually liking it.
And what was pissing me off before, this trailer, which is now made people do a 180, people were like, why do I give a fuck about Echo? I'm like, if you know anything about the comics, the idea of an Echo series is fucking great. Her connection with Kingpin and obviously Daredevil, the concept, the idea is going to be fucking fantastic. They are changing her powers. If anyone is curious about who Echo is, her power, she's connected to Kingpin. She's sort of like an adoptive daughter to Kingpin. If you want to sort of run down on that, if you haven't watched the Hawkeye series, I highly recommend you do that because it's a great fucking series. But this is technically a spinoff of Hawkeye, and her powers in the comics are sort of like Taskmasters, where she can see something someone does and copy it like exactly. So she's sort of like Taskmaster in that way, but they're changing it in this show. I've heard it's sort of like they're making it tie into more of her Native American roots, and I think they're supposed to be like some like magical tribal like tattoos or something that give her some ability. I don't know what that's going to be, but I think that'll be interesting to see because, again, I've heard reports that this show is going to definitely tie more into her Native American side, which is really cool. But yeah, Echo seems it looks really good. It looks really good, but a trailer's a trailer. Quantumania also looked really good, so who knows? But yeah, January 10th, all 5 episodes releasing at the same time. Super excited for that. Also, in connection to Echo, Marvel Studios has announced what they're calling Marvel Spotlight, which is a banner for certain upcoming projects that are more grounded, character-driven stories, which put less focus on the larger MCU continuity, making it easier for casuals to know what is and what isn't necessary viewing, which to people like us isn't necessary, but there's a bunch of people that are like, why do I have to watch this? There's too much stuff. So now they can put, if it's Marvel Spotlight, you don't need to watch it. You can watch it if you want. You might get more out of it maybe later down the line, but it's not necessary. And if it's just, regular Marvel Studios, then that's necessary viewing, I guess. They're probably going to put Daredevil under Marvel Spotlight.
Yeah, it's they're catering to the crowd of, we want more grounded stories. I'm tired of the multiverse.
Which is kind of fair.
It's fair.
It's fair, but also shut up.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
This is according to the Hot Mic podcast. Captain America Brave New World is reportedly getting extensive reshoots after negative test scores.
Makes sense.
Which following another piece of news, which we'll get to, definitely makes sense. So Deadpool 3 has been delayed. It was coming out, like February of or May or something like that. And so now it's coming out July 26th of next year. So likely, it's not getting pushed too far. But Captain America Brave New World, which was supposed to come out like fall of next year, is now being pushed to February 14th, 2025. Which again, the fact that it's getting extensive reshoots, it makes sense that it's getting pushed all the way to 2025 instead of keeping its 2024 release. If it's getting extensive reshoots, and it's getting negative test scores, again, Feige seems to be stepping in a bit more and being like, okay, we gotta shift some stuff around if we want this to work. And Daredevil is getting an entire creative reshuffle, and now Captain America Brave New World is getting extensive reshoots. So they're actually seeing what's not working, or presumably, at least. I guess we won't know until we see it, but they're seeing what's not working and actually changing it instead of just pumping it out regardless. So to me, that's a good sign, but who knows? Thunderbolts has been delayed to July 25th, 2025. and Blade has been delayed to November 7th, 2025.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, so nothing too insane. The biggest delay here is definitely Captain America, but honestly, that's cool, I guess. But this does mean that Deadpool 3 is going to be the only movie next year. So that'll kind of suck. But it is what it is. But that is the news of the week, which means it's time to move on to our topic, which is, of course, well, at least our first topic, which is, of course, Captain Marvel. We're going to be doing non-spoilers and spoilers. If anyone's curious about Loki, we're just going to go into spoilers for that one. We're just going to do spoilers for that one. We're just going to talk about it. But for Captain Marvel, we're going to do non-spoilers and spoilers. Again, there's time codes in the description of the show notes if you want to jump around. But yeah, so Torrin, give us your non-spoilery thoughts.
I think the story is it's really solid. This movie wasn't really on my radar in terms of like Marvel content, but I'm so glad that I got to see it. Kamala is really, really great. I think the chemistry of all three of them, Brie Larson, Iman Vellani, and Tiana Paris worked really, really well in this movie. The visuals in here were actually really, really cool, and I really like that. I also loved how like it was also an extension of the Miss Marvels, of Miss Marvel, and you're still getting Kamala's like family dynamic in there, which is really, really cool. It's really heartwarming. In terms of like the actual like plot, there's some stuff in there that I don't really like, but overall I still think it worked for the movie. Nia DaCosta did really, really well with her first Marvel directorial debut. Also, like, she did like an interview, and she said how she took like some notes from Final Fantasy, which is really, really cool. And after she said that, I can kind of see that in the action. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it. It's something that like a lot of people shouldn't hate on as much, but it's the MCU and people hate on everything. Ha ha ha. Yeah,
I definitely had a lot of fun with it. It's not gonna blow anyone away, I don't think, but it doesn't need to blow you away either. It's just a fun movie, you know what I mean? But yeah, like Tord said, the chemistry between the cast is just incredible. Iman Vellani definitely steals the show in this one. She kind of carried. Brie Larson, of course, is definitely a step up from her previous appearances, because if anyone doesn't know, like her appearance in Endgame, I believe that was filmed before they actually filmed Captain Marvel, so they didn't really know what her character was gonna sort of feel like or look like. And Captain Marvel, we defend Captain Marvel because of people being weird, but like we both think it's like fine, it's whatever. But it's a solid film. But at this one, I think The Marvels is definitely a step up, in my opinion, from Captain Marvel, and they definitely give Brie Larson, her character Carol Danvers, definitely like more of a personality, which I think is what people were looking for, really, if they were going to do a sequel to this. And they definitely let her do her thing. You saw a little tease of that sort of character, that demeanor shift in that post-credit scene to Shang-Chi. And it looks, everything she was doing in here I thought was really great. Tiana Paris was also a phenomenal addition. She's a great actress. And again, they all just played off each other incredibly well. Samuel Jackson's in this doing his thing. It's Samuel Jackson. The family dynamic with Miss Marvel, which was, in our opinion, the best part of the Miss Marvel show, carries over seamlessly into this. And really, Miss Marvel's presence entirely, she doesn't feel like, oh, they plucked her from TV and just slapped her in here. She definitely feels like she deserves this big screen. You know what I mean? And that's fucking phenomenal for Iman Vellani, because she's such a fantastic actress and such a fantastic Kamala Khan. And as far as the rest of the film goes, it was a lot of fun. The thing that was lacking, though, in our opinion, was the villain. Definitely. I was telling Torrin when we came out of the movie, the thing about the villain was the actual motivation and the idea behind the villain is actually really interesting. We won't get into exactly why until spoilers, but the idea and the concept behind it is really interesting. But unfortunately, they didn't really capitalize on those ideas enough to really make her an impacting villain, unfortunately. But she did what she needed to do, and you know, the movie was just short, breezy, and fun. But I don't think there's really anything much to say without getting into spoilers. So yeah, I had a really fun time with it. It wasn't amazing, but it wasn't bad at all either. Had a lot of fun. Definitely was better than Quantumania. I'd have to give it a 7.5 for me.
Yeah, I give it like a 6.5, honestly.
Fair enough. 6.5 and 7.5. So let's get into spoilers. Man, I can't believe they killed Miss Marvel that quickly. That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't expect her to do that. Well, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. No, but for real, yeah, I do want to talk about the villain thing, because her motivation, the idea behind it is that Captain Marvel came and just kind of annihilated the planet, destroyed the Supreme Intelligence, which they gave a bit more of a comic accurate makeover, which I thought was cool. But you know, she came in, kind of just destroyed everything. They don't have water, they don't have an atmosphere, they don't have a sun. They don't have a sun. All that is really cool, giving Captain Marvel sort of like a questionable act stance. Yeah. And obviously, you know, the Kree being such a I guess like sort of their leadership, I guess I can't talk for the Kree citizens, but at least their leadership are pretty extremist. And so the fact that, you know, more extremism would rise out of an act like that is really cool, and maybe would have some real life parallels, who knows. But they go after Captain Marvel, obviously, and they deal with the fact that Carol sort of annihilated everything for like 2 seconds, and they move on real quick.
Yeah, they did not develop that character like at all. She's super one-dimensional.
For a light and breezy movie, I like sort of get it, but at the same time, if you want these characters to have any depth, you need to flesh them out more. And you know, they didn't really do much with that. Like they made her motivation somewhat clear, and the repercussions and the aftermath of what Carol did wasn't really shown. We got that one scene where, you know, they got all the air back onto the planet and they breathe again. That was really cool, because, you know, they show the citizens that have been struggling for 30 years, you know, finally getting some sense of relief. These people who are presumably, you know, innocent, I doubt, because the Kree suck, but like I doubt all these people are fucking evil, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that was really, really cool, and I wish we saw more of that, or at least more of maybe like those 30 years of how these people have struggled, because we don't really get that sense. There's also some stuff in this movie, sort of just getting the criticisms out of the way. There's also some stuff in this movie that I didn't think made a lot of sense, or stuff that was just sort of maybe like an afterthought. Like it almost felt a little like kid showy, where it's like, how do we solve this problem? Oh, this very obvious solution that we could have thought of like a long time ago. Like Monica was like, you could just restart their sun. It's like, oh damn, you didn't think about that? Because Carol's like, oh, but I've never done something like that before. You're like one of the most powerful beings.
Yeah.
and then when she does do it at the end, she does it like with ease. I'm like, you couldn't have done that earlier.
Could have solved all their problems.
Yeah, like yeah, I don't know. Brain. Also, I could be forgetting something. Maybe I'm insane, but like at the end, Miss Marvel like doesn't have her bangles, but she can still use her powers.
No, she has a bangle.
No, no, but like
yeah. After the fight.
Yeah, after the fight, because the villain, like, you know, creates the hole in space-time, and then all the bangles floating, and then Monica goes after Carol, but then she grabs them both.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So how does... What? How does she... How does when what?
I don't know, man. Maybe I gotta watch Ms. Marvel again. Who knows?
Yeah, because obviously she's a mutant. We know that, but they didn't establish that she can do her powers without the bangle. I don't think, unless I'm forgetting something.
Yeah,
it sort of felt like maybe like the only thing I could think of is like, oh, she got the 2 bangles. Oh no, that doesn't make sense either because she wore them after. What the fuck? I don't know. Maybe like the entanglement like unlocked like her powers with it or something. I don't know, because obviously that's what the bangle did. It sort of, I guess, unlocked her mutant ability, I guess. But you know, without the bangle, like, did her coming in contact with all this space stuff and being entangled, does that like inherently unlock? If that's the case, they should have said something, unless again we just forgot about something. But yeah, I thought that was weird too. Do you have any complaints?
I do have complaints. Yes, the villain was the main thing. And you know, we always talk about, you know, Marvel killing off their villains. I don't care like about this one. I didn't really care. I didn't really like her. I didn't like how like I didn't like her design. I just didn't really care for her. Like anytime she was on screen, I'm just like, whatever, get off. Like give me the 3 women we're looking for. But and also like I saw like a review on Letterboxd and it was like, if someone had a gun to my head and told me what her name was, I would lose instantly.
Darben.
Yeah, I couldn't. I mean, like I don't care. Sorry. And I don't know.
Sounds sexist to me. I don't know.
Sounds sex. That's crazy.
Just say you hate women.
When I literally said I want to see 3 women.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Give me the 3 women we're looking for.
I don't know. Sounds sexist to me.
No.
No, but I get it. Yeah, the villain was lackluster.
Yeah. Also,
sorry. What my point was earlier is that she easily couldn't have been given. Yeah, like if they actually utilized all the building blocks were there. And they just didn't utilize it.
No, I understand. Yeah, they definitely she's definitely just super like one dimensional, and it's also like a thing that I compared to you like, you know, last night. Is that's one of the reasons why, you know, I didn't really like Ms. Marvel, because you know the villains were like super like one dimensional and like lackluster. But of course, you know, obviously this is better than Ms. Marvel, so. I don't really have any complaint. I feel like this is like also like at first I was really like I was kind of trying to understand like where the direction was going. Especially like at the beginning, there was like some like weird cuts in the beginning of the movie. Like it felt like some scenes were cut too short, and it's just like it was really weird.
I noticed that. But I noticed like some like dialogue cutting. It felt like, I don't know if they were splicing together like different takes or they were cutting out takes, like a sentence or something. I don't know what they did, but it did sound like the dialogue was cut.
Like there were some scenes that weren't able to like breathe. Like some of the takes were super weird. That's more like a nitpick than I could complain, but I said, like,
because it's only really in the beginning portion.
Like I said, like, you know, I was trying to make sure where the story was going, because, you know, this is like, it's like a messy movie in a really good, like, funny way, because like I understand, like, you know, what they're trying to do, so I kind of got the hang of it, like, you know, after like the beginning. I wouldn't say there's any like hardcore complaints about it. Like I just don't really think that's
there's nothing like egregiously bad.
No, it's nothing like too bad.
My final complaint would be the sort of crux, or I guess the gimmick of this movie, is them being entangled and switching places whenever they use their powers. I fucking love that. And
it's such a cool concept.
Yeah, we get a couple action sequences, but I really wish we got more.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely a bit more of a nitpick because the action sequences we do get are really cool, but I think it could have used like one or two more. Especially when they actually get the hang of it, because it feels like they got a hang of it, and right when they got the hang of it, they lose it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, that'd probably be my final complaint, I think. So you want to get into some positives?
Oh yeah, I would definitely want to get into some positives. Like I said, I really loved the chemistry between, like, you know, Tiana, Iman, and Bree. They work super well together. I genuinely love how, like, how Iman, like, is kind of like the glue to the trio, and you know, she's like super heartwarming, and like her performance was just great. Like, yeah, Iman Vellani carried. But also, can I tell you who else carried this movie?
Yeah.
Goose. Wait, this is spoilers, right?
Yeah.
And Goose is a woman.
Well, maybe Flerken species, you know, maybe they don't have a gender.
Well, that's right, you know. But still, I was like, there's a part of the movie where, like, you know, in this is said that one of the Saber sectors, they're like, what's this like little thing? And I'm like, kind of weird. I think Goose is pregnant, and then yeah, Goose is pregnant, has many kitties. How can people hate this movie, bro? Got kitties in it.
I don't know. But you know what I wanted to say? I should have said this in the non-spoiler section. I think it's weird, the reviews for this movie, specifically from critics. I haven't really looked at audience reviews because I refuse. I really don't want to. But it has a positive audience score. It's like in the 80s. But like the critics' reviews are so baffling to me, because every critic review I've seen, it's like none of them have really given it like high praise, but also none of them have really said like the movie was trash. People, if anything, people are like it was fine. It was a step up from Captain Marvel, but then it has like a 50. It gets like a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes. Meanwhile, Captain Marvel, I think, is like the mid 70s.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense. It's like I feel like that's been a trend recently where critics are like, yeah, it was fine, and then it gets a rotten score. Like, what's happening?
Yeah, that's like crazy.
Technically, it doesn't have a rotten score now. I think it's in the low 60s. But like, does it really deserve that when Captain Marvel is in the 70s? Like, Ant-Man and the Wasp has a positive score. Like, really? Iron Man 2, even Thor: The Dark World, The Incredible Hulk. I mean, like there's movies that are easily worse than this in the MCU, and yet this, and I don't know. I think reviews recently have been really weird, and I think maybe that's just the landscape of, you know, critics are being more critical of superhero films, because I think this is one of those films, like, if this came out in like 2014, people would be eating this up.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
But, you know, it's coming out now, and well, I can't speak to the audience reviews, but it seems positive, I guess. But yeah, I don't know, it's weird. Anyway, I liked how I liked how it only happened a few times, but like Monica just had some this is gonna sound fuck this term's gonna sound fuck, had some like blackisms.
Oh,
like the one, because I watched it with my family, and when Monica, they get the comms and Kamala is just like, hello, and Monica's like, Kamala, we hear you, baby. Yeah. Like, oh my god. And then
that was funny.
I after the movie, I was talking to my mom. I was like, because like, I assume that most of the people listening to this maybe aren't black, so black people's hair is a pretty complicated thing, right? So like, me and my mom were sort of like cringed when Monica's hair got a little wet when she fell on the beach. We're like, but it only got a little bit wet, so it was fine. Well, like, black people, you can't get your hair wet. It's a no. Yeah. But yeah,
also, I love the part at the end, you know, where like they're moving stuff back to like the old like Rambo house in Louisiana.
Yeah.
And Kamala's mom was like, "There's a bunch of hot sauce in here."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh man, that's crazy."
And then following right after that, it's like she was like, "Hey, this is a great place to have some kids," and he tries to mute her. That was really funny too.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, there's
that
some really funny moments in this. A lot of them do come from the family. They're fucking awesome.
I know.
I love them so much.
So good.
Too bad the dad might be a pedophile allegedly.
The actor?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's always one.
Yeah. Allegedly.
There's always one.
All I wanted to do is say it is a legend, I think, last time I checked. But yikes. There's even one part where they like get reunited and he sort of like grabs Kamala and it made me I was like
back up.
I was like, get away. I was like, I mean, the actress is like 20, but like the character's 16. Please stop.
Yeah, back away, heathen.
But like that action sequence right in the beginning where they're switching and they don't know what's happening, was fucking awesome. In taking place in like 3 different sections in Kamala's house and the Saber place and somewhere else.
It was like Darben's ship.
Yeah. That was I thought that was really fucking fantastic. And it also throws you right into sort of, because we haven't really seen it since WandaVision, Monica's powers.
Yeah.
And that bit where she like throws the dude, flies through him, and then punches him.
Yeah,
was fucking cold.
That was sick.
I was like, hell yeah, that was awesome.
I also love when Kamala was trying to give her a name, drop some names in there.
Oh yeah,
Photon.
That part was funny too. She was like Vision, and Carol was like Vision. Oh wait, no, that's not. Yeah. that doesn't work. That was good. Yeah, that whole sequence when they were like trying to figure it out was awesome too. Again, really the whole movie does it, but I think that portion specifically really highlighted the tonal character shift in Carol's character. Which is really welcome. They made her a bit more like a person.
Yeah, she had way more personality in this movie.
And I'm a big defender of like how Carol is in the original Captain Marvel, because it's like I don't even think, because when she's like with Nick Fury, she does brighten up. I don't think it's like devoid of personality, but I think it's like she's in like a foreign land. She doesn't know what's happening. She's a soldier. Like everything about it rings true. People were complaining about it, and it's like I get it to an extent, but the people that are like oh she's just she's flat and shit like that. Meanwhile, Doctor Strange exists, who's very similar in that sense, and everyone is fine with him. But regardless, I mean, I feel like this shift was going to happen anyway, when she gets more comfortable within herself as a person. But you know, it happened regardless, and it's good. So but yeah, their character dynamics is fantastic. But yeah, that whole montage of them trying to figure out their powers was really good. When they were doing the double jump rope, and Monica was like, go, and Kamala was just like, I need a second. Like, that was really fun. Yeah, everything about this movie was just fun. The second act, didn't you say you didn't love the second act? The singing planet specifically, really?
Yeah, I wasn't too big of a fan of it. But I mean, it's one thing to where it's like, I wish it was different, but I'm like, I'm kind of fine with it. That's
one of those sections where, at least from the people that I've seen, it's very, you either love it or you don't love it.
Yeah, no, like it was definitely like a very divisive thing, because like when I was looking through reviews on Letterboxd, people were like, I would really want a segment of like that planet like by itself.
Yeah, and other people are like, I wish they cut that out.
Yeah,
so it's like it is a big swing.
Yeah, for sure.
Personally, I wish they took a bigger swing. Genuinely, I think it.
You wanted a La La Land moment in the Marvel.
Kinda, but because like if you're gonna do a singing planet, they do a little singing section, and then Brie Larson does a little singing section, and then it's over. But like, if you're gonna do a singing planet, go all the way. Like have a big moment, have Monica and Kamala get in there in the mix. I mean, we literally had like a fun dance sequence in Miss Marvel. Like I think that the again, like sort of the biggest issues with this film generally, I feel like are missed opportunities, and I think that was a missed opportunity. Like it would have been a big swing, but I think it would have paid off even more if they went all the way, because it feels like they were like, oh, we're gonna do a singing planet. And then they were like, oh, this might be too much. Let's back off a bit. And it kind of, I don't want to say falls flat because it was still fun. But I think it could have been more. But speaking of the singing planet, Captain Marvel's dress was fucking fire, bro. Using the Captain Marvel color scheme cool. With the star on it. That was sick. I was like, wow. I don't really give a shit about, well, I do give a shit, but like, I don't really particularly notice like costume design. Whoever made that though deserves a raise. That was awesome. I was like it transformed and I was like, oh. Also the sparkly bits when she transformed seemed very Barbie to me. But yeah, I thought that was fun. And then it was Dar-Benn comes along and we don't really see the repercussions from them like leaving. Presumably they steal the water. So like, what impact does that have? They don't really.
It's okay. I mean, I'm sure that Captain Marvel ain't gonna be a princess anymore, but.
Oh yeah, technically she's a Disney princess.
That is true. I didn't think about that. And then it was funny because when they're all singing, I'm like, the one thing that kept going through my mind was like, man, the MCU's been Disney-fied. That's the only thing that was going through my head, dude. That's the one thing that kept going through my mind was that.
That's crazy. It's been Disney-fied. I love the fact that when they were sort of getting led through the town and they're all like dancing and stuff. Kamala's just like really into it and also dancing. Like I thought that was really fun. Kamala was so fucking fun in this. She was really great. She was
amazing.
Yeah, like you said, she's the glue of this trio. It was really, really fun. Man, I can't think of anything else other than the fact that they wombo comboed the villain's ass at the end.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, they're juggling her like a Mortal Kombat combo. She
was going crazy. Again, wish we got more.
Yeah, wish we got more. I didn't expect for Kamala to have a hammer to her head.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. I kind of wish she was doing a lot of shield work. I wish we got to see more like Miss Marvel style, like big fists.
Yeah. We only saw like the big hand whenever they're bringing everyone back.
Yeah, I think they could have done more with her power set.
Yeah.
Oh, when they were Captain Marvel and Monica were at Kamala's house, because Miss Marvel switched with Captain Marvel. And they're like, "Where's Kamala?" And she's
falling down.
Yeah, and Monica had to like figure out how to fly. Yeah. And Nick Fury. Nick Fury was like, yeah. She ain't gonna graduate high school. Like you gotta figure it out. Use your core. And she's like, black girl magic, go. Like
black girl magic. And then like it's funny because like when they switched and then Carol fell, he was like, oh, that's just Carol.
Yeah, it was fine. It's Carol. Nick Fury, he was fucking hilarious in this.
I know.
Like when they're
so funny
when they were escaping at the end, and then Kamala's brother was praying. He was like, "Are you praying?" And he was like, "Don't stop. We need that right now." He's like, "Amen."
Oh, dude, that was so fun.
This movie genuinely has really funny moments. So as a man who is notoriously terrified of squids, how'd you feel about the Flurkin scenes?
They actually aren't bad. They're not bad. And you asked me, is like, would you get eaten by a Flurkin? I was like, you know what, like if I have to, I would. Like,
you did cringe at the part where Goose was grooming himself though, or herself.
Yeah. The tentacles stayed for a little too long.
Yeah, that part was fucking fantastic. I've seen some people saying like, oh, that was the only good part of the movie. Like, okay. Whatever, I guess.
It's like, okay, I get it's Goose. We all love Goose. We all love kitties, but no.
Amen.
Amen. But yeah, no. I genuinely loved the kitties were walking around. It was so cool. and like how they're just eating people up, and it's like, you know, the classic slow-mo with like the classical music.
Yeah, and it's
people.
Like it's fun, it's funny, but also a little terrifying at the same time.
And then the announcer is like, "Stop running, let the kids eat you."
Yeah. And that dude's running and Kamala just blocks him and she's like, yeah. Sorry.
She's like, "I'm sorry."
Like, that's rough. I'd want to get eaten by a kitten. That sounds awesome.
I know, right? And I love how like they're just getting like thrown up onto like a regular New York park, you know, just regular MCU New York things.
Yeah, it's just New York with a renovated Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, you see like the you just see a random guy in the park looking around like, what the hell is happening?
What is going on?
I'm just seeing people like spawn out of nowhere. But you want to know what's cool about? Wait, no. Did they have? I'm trying to think if they had like saliva on them whenever they got eaten.
They did.
They did. Oh,
yeah,
that's a drawback.
Yeah, that it is a drawback. Yeah.
Damn. It's like, dang, you know, I get eaten by a kid, and when I get thrown up, I have saliva all over me. At least they're able to control it, and they're not like full on eating you. They have to spit you out. That's kind of cool too.
Yeah, or maybe they have the choice. Maybe Goose was like, "Hey, don't digest these dudes."
Yeah.
But like, where do they get? It's like a pocket dimension.
I think it is a little pocket dimension.
Could be a little pocket dimension. That's sick. I mean, if it can hold a tesseract, it gotta be pretty, you know, powerful.
Bro, the kitties were getting 180 grams of protein per person. Crazy.
True.
But I have nothing else to really say about the movie. I mean, I generally liked it. I think it's a lot of fun. Of course, you know, people being people, they're gonna hate it no matter what, and they can't stand fun because they want to have they want to have really, really intricate movies and stuff like that. Let me not get into that, but you know, like I said, I had a lot of fun with it. It's something that wasn't entirely on my radar, but I mean, I'm glad that I was able to see it nonetheless. Thank you, by the way, Peyton, for paying for my ticket.
You're welcome.
You will be repaid.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say too. Definitely a lot of fun. I think this could have been a bit higher of a score. The only thing, the things that were really drawing it back for me personally is a couple of weird plot holes, if you could call it that, I guess. And of course, the villain was lackluster. But yeah, literally everything else was just such a blast. Is this the shortest Marvel movie? It is the shortest MCU movie. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Because I was like, this is an hour and 45 minutes. Because like I remember, yeah, it flies by.
When you saw it, you're like, because you know I said like, you know, like let me know how it is, and you're like, yeah, and then he texted me like what felt like 30 minutes later. He's like, all right, I'm out of the Marvels. Yeah. Like, yes. It was just solid. I'm like, damn.
No, actually, I just walked out of the theater. I was like, I'm done with this. This was trash.
I was like, what happened? Like, did the movie start with the third act and that's it? Like, holy shit.
Yeah, but this was a lot of fun. You gave it a 6.5. I gave it a 7.5. Yeah. So let's move on to Loki. Again, fair warning, we are not doing a non-spoiler section for this. We're just go straight into spoilers.
Did you want to talk about the scene?
Oh, fuck, this post-credit scene. Right. Holy shit. God damn, I almost forgot.
I was like, dang.
I was like, well, okay. Yeah. So, obviously.
So, you know, at the end, of course, you know, the end of the movie, Monica uses she has to like redirect the energy because Darban created a tear through space-time, and it was showing it in reality, and if they didn't break it, it was going to mesh into, you know, ours, aka Earth 199999. And so she was like, yeah, you know, gotta give me all your energy, like kind of like a Dragon Ball moment, and I'll piece it back up. Well, of course, you know, she can't make it back to the other side, and then she lands up in a hospital where she sees a variant of her mom, and we see
the GOAT himself, one of the best casting choices of all time,
Hank McCoy,
played by. Do you not know the man's name? Kelsey Grammer.
Yes. Yes. I had K in Grammars and I didn't know. So.
Yeah, Kelsey Grammer. Oh,
Hank McCoy, man, beast.
Literally one of the best casting decisions ever, and underutilized.
We're finally. You said underutilized?
Yeah, he was only in X-Men 3 and like 2 seconds of Days of Future Past.
Oh, you know what's crazy? I just think of Beast as like one entity. It's like once you play him, like you're literally like Beast.
So you saw Nicholas Hoult and you were like, Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah, somewhat like that. I mean, because Beast is Beast, dude. Like
kind of, but like Nicholas Hoult is like skinny little bitch Beast.
That's crazy. That's I wouldn't go all that.
I mean, I like Nicholas Hoult, but like Kelsey Grammer is like on another level for that character.
Kelsey Grammer. Yeah, you're right. I don't remember Last Stand all that much, to be honest.
Solid film, underrated in my opinion. It's definitely the worst out of the 3, but
for sure. But yeah, like freaking Beast. It was so cool.
I thought it was I think because everyone's talking about Beast, but I thought it was surprisingly emotional when Monica got emotional seeing her mom again. Yeah. I thought she fucking nailed that. Yeah,
that was so good. And like, like of course, that's not her, that's Maria, who's binary. If you don't know who binary is, it's kind of like
she's non-binary.
That's crazy. It's kind of like another version of Carol Danvers. It's a Carol Danvers like clone, which is cool. So, and then like of course they don't know her. They don't know where Monica came from.
Well, they do. So, Beast was like, it's probably from another universe, and it's like, yeah.
But of course, exactly like binary wants more information.
Yeah, and then
like,
Beast, mentioned he's like, Charles is upstairs. He's gonna want updates. I was like, oh shit. So what is this? What does this lead to?
What does this lead to?
Yeah, because obviously it's like it's a tease, but like tease to what?
X-Men, bro.
X-Men what? what other? Because the only thing I was like Deadpool, but like Deadpool doesn't really make sense because he's trying to find the prime versions of heroes. What was that? We haven't heard about like Monica coming back for that, unless they really kept it under wraps, or Kelsey Grammer for that matter. I can't unless it's like they don't pay this off until Secret Wars or Kang Dynasty, but I really don't know what this would lead to. Either way, whatever when or wherever it pays off, I'm excited.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that was like really, really cool. And also one last thing I'll say is that I got spoiled on this, which is fine. I mean,
yeah, so did I.
But it's a thing to where
binary,
like I wish people were more excited for it. People were like, oh my god, Marvel's so desperate, and I'm like, desperate for what? And some people were like, dude, like what does Beast have to do with it? And I'm like, oh no, someone said, why do we want Beast? And I'm like, because Beast is GOAT, and like people want the X-Men, and then like someone tried to argue with me saying like, no one wanted the X-Men. I'm like, people have been wanting the X-Men for years. What are you talking about, dude? They're like literally like one of the largest teams like ever. Like get the fuck out of here, bro.
Crazy people are just
people like you.
Delusional.
They don't know shit, dude. I hate to be an elitist cuck right now, but they don't read comics. They ain't shit. They're not worthy. Don't watch movies. Don't watch any more Marvel movies. Get out of here.
On God.
Anyways, I'm done. We can move on to Loki.
Okay,
now.
Yeah, let's move on to Loki. Again, fair warning, we're just going to go right into spoilers. We're not going to do a non-spoiler for this. So yeah, let's just let's get into it.
This like I know like people were like, yeah, like this is the best like Marvel show, the best Marvel Disney Plus show, and I'm like, yeah, it's really, really good. But this season is phenomenal, man. Like this is just like, this is like out of the shows, like out of the Disney Plus shows, this is like their magnum opus, right for real.
Absolutely.
Like, it is just, it's one of the things to where like they wrapped up everything so beautifully for like everyone, and even like Loki himself, I just love how the cast has great chemistry together. Like they nail like their respective roles, and I really love how just it doesn't feel like convoluted. It feels like really like the plot and everything just felt like super smooth, like going within each episode. And it's like also one of the things where it's like I'm glad like it was one of the things where like we theorized something and it was right, but it also happened in the best way possible.
Yeah,
it is. I can't get over it.
And I absolutely agree with you. Like after that first season, I really enjoyed it, and people were like, "Oh, it's the best Marvel show," and I was like, yeah. I mean, it was really good.
I mean, yeah, it's good.
I preferred WandaVision and Hawkeye personally.
Yeah, you know, it's like, you know, like it's good, like, you know, and I really enjoyed it, but like it's something that I wasn't at the time calling like the best. It's like, oh yeah, this is the best. Like I'm not really was saying that, but then like the second season came out, and like I'm glad that like I didn't binge it, but like, you know, I was definitely catching up to it for sure, and I'm glad that I finished it as fast as I did, because oh my god. Oh
yeah,
it's
a yeah. After and yeah, season 1 it felt like that, and after season 2, really after the first episode, I could tell that this was, at least in my opinion, a step up. I've seen some people say that season 1 is better. I think of it like this: if you're more of a fan of like the more mundane sort of office, not like The Office the show, but like literally being in an office vibe of that first season, then you're probably going to like this less. But if you want more of the big universe hopping sort of adventure-esque style that was in a little bit of the first season, but certainly not as much season, then you're going to like this more. And that's kind of what I wanted. What I expected from the first season really was that. From the concept art they showed of the show and sort of how they described it, it felt like the second season is more like what it was going to be like. But then it wasn't, which is fine. Again, I still love the show, but this is more of what I was expecting from this series, and I'm so happy with it. You know, all the casts are elevated. Oh, fucking Kiwi Kwan being in addition to the cast is so brilliant. He's so fucking good. He's so
heartwarming, man.
He's the
like,
best.
And I'm so glad that like nothing horrific happened to him, or well, not really anything anyone in the cast besides, you know, Jonathan Major. I feel so bad for that man in that show. But yeah, Ke Huy Quan was just incredible. I'm really glad that he's getting the attention and appreciation that he deserves right now. And like it's definitely a thing to where like whenever he was on screen, he made it brighter, man. And he was so cool.
I love him so much.
Such a sweet man.
I know. He's the best. Protect that man at all costs, please.
I know.
Literally the best. You know, speaking of Jonathan Majors, he was good. Like he was so good. And like it's also one of the things to where, okay, so I saw something from like a critic, like he's a really known critic for like movies and stuff like that, and he watched Loki. He said he loved it. He said while he still feels like, you know, Kang is underutilized, he was the best thing in season 2. Like you go, of course, you know, going towards like the end of episode 5 up until, you know, episode 6. We'll see. My thing was like Victor Timely. I really enjoyed his presence, but as far as like He Who Remains goes, I thought he was utilized perfectly, especially in that final episode.
Of course, yeah, with Victor Timely, I really like Victor Timely as well. But you know, like it's also a thing to where it's like a thing to where like you can only do so much with him. And I felt bad for him. He kept getting freaking destroyed.
Yeah. And again, it was gruesome but cartoony. It was really well done.
Yeah, his scream was amplified. In, like
actually,
seasons,
the whole like stringy thing where the universes were sort of being erased. That was just, for me. It was like weirdly unsettling. I didn't like it.
Yeah, no, like especially like with Victor Timely, because like it's funny because like every time he died, it felt like just more icky because like you seen the strings and then I saw his skull and his eyes and just like, oh my god,
it's like
crazy.
You see his skeleton, sort of like his like muscles.
I'm like they were having fun with this. They were laughing their ass off. Animators are just having a blast, dude. This is crazy.
Yeah, having a blast with their 18-hour weeks, or 18-hour days.
It's like, I'm stuck in this hellhole called animation. Let me just have some fun out of it.
Yeah. But like, I don't like speaking of the VFX, they're fucking incredible in this show. I love the art direction in this fucking series. It's so cool. I've always loved the looks of the little like the tempad portal things, where it's like see-through. It's like glass. It looks so cool. I love it so much. There was a lot of stuff that was like surprisingly brutal in this season. The scene where Renslayer and the clock bitch comes back. What's her name? Miss Minutes.
Miss Minutes.
Comes back and they're talking to all the soldiers. And then they just crush them all.
Yeah,
that was crazy. It's like we don't see anything, but like you feel it.
Yeah, no, and they're like screaming and
then you have Ewan McGregor there just wincing.
Yeah, you got Walmart Ewan McGregor, but yeah, no, it was actually like super crazy.
I love the fact that the show was like, other than the final moments, it's a loop within a loop.
Yeah, I was seeing that. Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, it's a fucking fantastic concept.
I was watching it. I was like, yeah, this is a time loop. And then like, I was like, wait, yeah, like, okay, everything's good now. And I was like, oh no, like this ain't done. This is another loop.
Yeah, He Who Remains was like, I think this is the first time we've had this conversation. Speaking of that, I feel like his performance was way better as He Who Remains in this final episode.
He definitely had that exaggerated swagger.
Yeah. I don't know, like compared to the finale of the first season, he was fucking fantastic in that. But I don't know, something about his performance in this season, specifically as He Who Remains, I thought was elevated.
Yeah, it definitely was. It definitely was elevated, and like he had like. Yeah, he definitely had like a lot of charisma for him in episode 6, but it's also a thing to where like I really like love his acting because like you have like Victor Timely and then you just go to like He Who Remains, who just is like this bold, charismatic figure.
Stark contrast.
Yeah,
and then you go to Kang and Quantumania.
Oh yeah, dude,
again,
that one
very
too.
Different.
It's like crazy.
Yeah, too bad he might be an abuser. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
If he gets recast, who do you want? I kind of want John Boyega.
John Boyega, that's a really good one. I like that.
At first, I wasn't sold on that until I watched They Clone Tyrone. I was like, oh no, he could do it.
Oh yeah, he definitely can do it after watching that movie. I would want to see Keith David. Just kidding.
Well, Keith David would be crazy.
Yeah, Keith David would be nuts.
I want Denzel.
That'd be crazy. Yeah, no, I actually would like John Boyega for sure.
That'd be sick, right?
Give him a redemption after.
For real. But would he want to do it? After they pay him $10 million, I think he would.
Yeah, they better pay him good. I would. Yeah, they better pay his ass good, dude. After seeing what Star Wars did to him, I would hope that Marvel treats him way better. So
yeah,
but yeah, also love how the first and last episode their names is Glorious Purpose.
Yeah,
it's great.
A loop. So fucking good.
Natalie Holt again with like her extraordinary mind of creating the masterful score. This is
It's ridiculously good.
It's so incredible.
Didn't think it's like it's one of those things you don't think it can get better than season 1, but nah, it does.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like crazy.
Yeah, I don't like. It wasn't like Loki like Nally Holt's first time like composing music.
Maybe.
I think that was her first time.
Maybe it was like her first like big gig.
Yeah, I want to say it was her first time like composing like music for like like you said, like kind of like a big time thing. Oh, no, I take that back. No, I'm so wrong.
I mean, she did Obi-Wan, but that was after.
She did the score for Paddington.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Good for her.
Yeah, she did the score for Paddington.
Imagine going from Paddington to Loki.
I know, right? I couldn't have been more wrong.
Paddington. But yeah, her score was fucking fantastic. In that final episode, oh my god, she was snapping. She was fucking going crazy.
Yeah, she was insane.
Such a brilliant score. You know who I thought was interesting in this? Sylvie, because she definitely took a back seat in this season.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This season was definitely, it's like the first season felt very much like sort of like Sylvie's story, but this one was this one was definitely focused on Loki. Sylvie obviously had her moments. Actually, she like, I think I said it in one of our earlier podcasts. I thought Sylvie was kind of annoying me in those earlier episodes, but in the final 3, she was fine again. Yeah, but she was great. Obviously, Owen Wilson is great as Mobius. He's fucking fantastic. He finally got, with his jet skis and shit. But yeah, it's so good. Him like going through time, like being like ripped through time and shit. First of all, the VFX on that look horrific in the best way.
Oh yeah, yeah. I also like love how like they mentioned it through dialogue. They're like, this looks like it hurts like really bad.
He's like, no, it's fine. He's
and
like, I'm good.
Just like, I know, like, yeah. He like time slips and he comes back, and then the camera pans to like some like random lady in the elevator.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it looks crazy. The time slip like that. But you also want to know who I love who got more screen time?
B-15?
Yeah, B-15.
Yeah.
I'm glad she got more screen time. She was such a great like part of the season.
Agreed.
Like and like it's one of the things where it's like I love like character development where like a character is like annoying at first, but then like you like love them.
Yeah.
And like that's kind of how it was. Like for the first few episodes of
season 1.
Season 1, like she was like, yeah, I was like, I don't really like her too much. Kind of like a team player type of person, But then like that changed, and yeah, I like her a lot. Yeah, it was really cool. A person that I wish got like a little bit more screen time, but like thinking about it, I don't really like mind it all that much. It was Renslayer.
Oh yeah,
like I want to know what's inside her mind. What goes on inside of that mind? But like I said,
yeah, I didn't really care ultimately.
Yeah, like I said, it's fine.
It's like she got like that one episode, and then she sort of got her payoff when she realized her memories were erased by He Who Remains.
Yeah,
and that was pretty much it by that point. And I was like, okay, that was resolved. We don't need you, and they didn't.
Yeah, for real, she got pruned.
Good,
but yeah,
that final episode
is just peak. Incredible. It's like literally
holy
like
shit.
I know, it's incredible. Like, it's also funny because like like you said, how season 1 was focused more on Sylvie, but now this one's focused on Loki. I love how it shows that duality of them through the dialogue of like, yeah, Sylvie, I'm selfish, and like Loki is like, like he's like, of course, parts of him is selfish too, but like he wants to do it for the right reason.
Yeah.
And and he's like, yeah, like he basically just said, I want to be with my friends, like that's why I'm doing this, like I don't want to see like my friends getting like destroyed in my time. And of course, I love how he spent centuries in the TVA, like just like learning like mechanics and engineering.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, he spent all that time, literal centuries, which is like he's like 1,000 years old. So it's like, what are centuries to him? But still, it's still exactly. a long ass time. And at the end of it, it was for nothing. Like literally, he did all that for nothing, which is tough.
And I love how like they went with like the God of Stories like type of thing, where he time slips and then like he says to himself, I can rewrite this story, and I just made me melt. I was like, I love this already, and
it was so fucking good.
I know. And then like it's funny because like it was funny because like when he's walking on the gangway, right, and he's like just struggling, I'm just like, you mean to tell me you can do this all this time? and you're letting Victor Timely die like fucking 1,000 times?
That's he doesn't want his skin ripped off, huh?
Of course. Well, he didn't. He didn't have his skin ripped off.
Well, I mean, he didn't know it was going to be ripped.
I was like, well, damn, like you just let this man die 1,000 times.
Who knows? Maybe he tried it one of those times and it didn't work out.
Yeah, who knows?
But yeah, those final moments, it's so fucking sad and tragic, this version of Loki in this story, because through this journey that we've had with this character, we've established that he doesn't want to be alone. He just wants his friends back. He doesn't want a throne, and at the end of it, he's alone on the throne. Has a throne
in the zone. He has his throne, and he's by himself, by knowing his friends are safe. That he's content with that, and
then at the end of it all, it pans back, and it's fucking Yggdrasil.
Yeah,
it's the craziest shit I've ever seen.
And someone said that like, it's what if that like is like it's the reason that the time stone's green? It's because of Loki, which I find that kind of crazy because it's like if he's the reason the time stone's green, and it's like like I always get reminded of like how the stones in the TVA are like paperweights.
Yeah.
So it's like like
people are still mad at it. I don't understand it.
It's just it doesn't work outside of space and time. I don't get it. Like people don't think. But yeah, no, it's literally like it's Yggdrasil, and it's also like bittersweet too, because it's like you see what happens to like Mobius. It's like, yeah, he's upset. He's not really upset. He's like sad about it because Loki and him were friends, and he like leaves the TVA and stuff like that, and he wants to go see like what life he had out there. And yeah, it's sad, but still, like it's a damn good finale. Damn good. Like Loki is one of the best written characters of the MCU by far, for sure.
Absolutely, one of the best arcs. Like Nebula is obviously up there, and now Loki's up there. Like his character and his story was already incredible, and I was just added on to that. But like the fact, I just can't get over the fact that it's Yggdrasil and it's connected. They can manage to connect it to that Norse mythology. It's just fucking phenomenal. And if anyone doesn't know, the Yggdrasil usually in Norse mythology is a tree that connects the 9 realms, but in this obviously it's expanded a lot more.
It's like he's like literally the center of the multiverse at this point.
Literally the center of the multiverse. But also like I think we see Yggdrasil in like 4-1 in like a it's like it's one of those things where it's like, okay, because like Thor and Loki, they established that they're like stories, but they're also real. I don't know.
For sure. yeah. Because like you see Yggdrasil and Thor 1 as kind of like a diagram.
It's a diagram, and it's also like it's where the it's where the Tesseract is. Located under a little thingy. Portrait mural. It's like a carved. Forged. I don't know.
I see it. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But also like love the when Loki is like time slipping, or he's like learning how to time slip, like learning how to control it. I love like the line that Sylvie says, like like, do you know what makes a Loki? A Loki is that like we're destined to like lose. And I'm overthinking that, like, Loki is like the MCU like Sisyphus, where like, he's born to lose, but like he is like someone that like broke that for sure. Like, cause like I feel like he doesn't really like lose.
Yeah, he broke that mold. He lost in the sense that like he doesn't get what he wants.
He lost for like a greater purpose.
Exactly. He's burdened with glorious purpose.
Yeah, literally. And so
fuck, man. Fuck,
dude.
Everything. It's just like all the connections and all like the meaning behind it all in so many different areas that ties in the finale. It's so fucking brilliant, dude. I can't get over it. It's so good. It's ridiculous. Like I haven't. Oh, it's genuinely such a brilliant series. This has skyrocketed easily to the #1 spot for me as far as Disney Plus series goes. Just based on this season alone.
It's just like
it's insanely
so
good,
fucking incredible, man. I just love how
definition of peak fiction.
It literally is, dude. I'm just I'm just so glad that like I'm glad that this like finale like blew up, because like when I like looked up like Loki like finale, the season 2 finale, people were just raving about it, and it makes it even better. But yeah, man, it's such a great show.
So is this it's probably the end of the series.
Yeah, it is the end of the series. Yeah, because I remember
they pull a fast one, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I think like of course Tom Hiddleston's gonna come back for sure. But like right now, like he went on Jimmy Kimmel and he was like, yeah, it's like it's gonna be end for 14 years for now.
Yeah, he's gonna come back though. I wonder if it's going to be like a variant of Loki, or it's going to be God Loki, because I think that's the official name for him. It's just God Loki.
For him, it's God of Stories.
No, it's God Loki. Like I know it's based on God of Stories. I know it's based on God of Stories, but they're calling him God Loki. God of Stories. Okay, good for fucking you. Canonically speaking, no. No.
Imagine Thor sees him.
I know, bro. Imagine how proud he'd be. Oh God. Oh, my heart.
Crazy.
But man, yeah. So is that it for Loki?
That is it for Loki.
I'd give it a 10 out of 10. It's fucking perfect.
For sure, I give it a 10 out of 10 as well.
Shit's so ridiculously good. It's one of those things. It's like it's even because of its connections to the first season and how good this season is. It's retroactively made the first season better. Anyway, did you watch anything this week?
Yes, I did. Let's see, what did I watch? I watched Chucky. I've been watching Chucky season 3. That's like pretty sure. I think they're splitting it into 2 parts. I've of course watched Marvels. I watched Violent Night as well. Violent Night, it's average. It's cool. David Harbour does this thing. I'm trying to think of like also like shows that I've been watching, because I've been watching like a little bit of TV recently. I have watched Tucker and Dale versus Evil. That is like a funny movie. It's so funny. I genuinely think you would enjoy it. Like it's not even like horror, dude. Like it's just a funny movie.
Okay.
Yeah, that was it. Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Like back on Halloween. It's on Hulu too. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all I watched.
I watched all the Scream movies.
Yes, you did. Yes,
I did. I got somewhere to be. So I'm not going to go into detail into all of them. Also, that'd be like an entire podcast on its own.
Of course.
I'm gonna give a quick rundown on all of them in order. Scream 1. It's great. It's good shit. Why didn't no one tell me that these were good movies?
Wow, it's almost like I've been trying to tell you.
I don't think you did. I don't think you ever did, actually.
Bro, what do you mean? I've been trying to get you to watch Scream for like a couple years now.
I don't know. I remember when 6 came out earlier this year, you were like, hey, do you want to go? And I was like, yeah. And you were like, you know what? Don't come.
What?
That's what happens.
What? Me and Joel invited you to go see Scream 6.
I don't know.
That's not my recollection. That's crazy. Your memory's fucking shit. That's what it is.
No, but Scream 1 is fucking. It really was great. throughout the entirety of these movies, there's some things I know and there's some things I didn't know. I knew the killers in this movie, sort of fortunately, unfortunately. But also it's kind of hard to, to escape from, to not be spoiled for this movie that's a million years old. But I gave it a 9 out of 10. Really, really good. Scream 2, downgrade, not by much though. Some things that really annoyed me. Obviously Randy's death pissed me off. I thought the villain or the killer was really obvious. This one I didn't know who the killer was. I was like, okay, it's this guy. It's literally Billy and Stu like combined into one human being. Like I was like, okay. Scream 3, mid as hell. mid as fuck. Like I wasn't invested into like literally any of the characters. I couldn't give a fuck about the killer like at all. Like it was super. It was one of those things where it's like they literally acknowledged like this is like where they in the like the end of a trilogy they like sort of go all out and shit like that, and they still fall into the trappings of a trilogy or the third in the trilogy. And yeah, it wasn't great. Scream 4. It was I thought it was really good. Oh, Scream 3, by the way, I gave like a 6 out of 10. And Scream 2 I gave an 8 out of 10. Scream 4, 8 out of 10. Really good in my opinion. I think there was some, I think this could have been a 9 out of 10, but unfortunately, considering it came out in 2011, which in a grand scheme of things wasn't that long ago, but in internet years it's a fucking eternity, and there's some things that I don't think aged that well, specifically the way they sort of talk about the internet and stuff, because the whole thing in this movie is like, spoilers for a movie that's a decade old, but the killer, the girl, Sydney's cousin. She was like, oh, because I want to be famous and whatever like that. I like, you got to be famous based off this. Why can't I, or whatever? And he goes, and all this. And then two of the characters, like, they said the dreaded word, which I fucking despise, which is cyberspace. I was like, Jesus Christ. Like it's Wes Craven. And he's an old man. I don't know how much input he had in the script. But the fact that they said cyberspace, I was like, I hate that. I hate that so much. But it was other than that, it was very good. There's a weird fucking filter on it that I don't like. Everything's like weirdly shiny and glowy.
I was gonna ask, like, how you feel about that look? Yeah, and I didn't remember it.
I eased into it by the end, but yeah, in the beginning it was really jarring.
Yeah, no, like it's something that like I didn't remember it looking like that whenever I saw the movie, like, at that time. So I was like, what the heck is like going on? Like, why does it look like all like dreamlike?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, it's like a dream. It's because it is a dream.
It's like they cranked up every anamorphic lens they had.
Yeah, I really liked what's her name? Kirby.
Kirby's great.
Yeah, she was fantastic. She had a Florence Pugh thing going on that I really liked. But yeah, she comes back in a way that I didn't like. It was just like her character was fine, but her hair, she had like a Karen thing going on instead of a Florence Pugh thing, and I was like, I don't like this. This is a downgrade.
Yeah,
but yeah, Scream 4 was really good. I some parts of it I don't think have aged the best, but still really solid. Scream 5 reboot, Scream the reboot, the Scream boot. My opinion. Cream. Yeah, in my opinion, was about on par with the first one. I gave it a 9 out of 10. I could be biased because I love Jack Quaid, but he was fantastic in this. He was really good, and I thought, again, this is a movie that unfortunately I already knew the killers. I thought the killers were incredibly sort of predictable. I asked you if it was predictable for you, and you said it wasn't. Okay. I thought, but unfortunately I already knew one of them, but the other one I guessed immediately. I was like, oh, it's them.
Like, the thing is like, it wasn't predicted. Like, the only one I didn't, you're talking about Scream 6, right?
No, Scream 5.
Scream 5. the one thing that like I understood at the end, like kind of at the ending, like or like it's kind of like a plot hole or whatever when Dewey dies, right? And like it's funny because like, he gets lifted up in the air.
That shit was brutal.
Yeah, that person's Amber, and they're like,
yeah,
how is a 120-pound girl lifting up this grown man? That was funny to me. But no, yeah, I didn't like. Of course, you know, I had a feeling it was like Jack Quaid, but it was one of the things where it's like you never really know because it's Scream and you want to pin it on everybody. I didn't know it was Amber for sure.
You didn't know?
No, I didn't know.
Oh, I knew immediately. I was like, there's something off with her. I was like, unfortunately, again, like I knew it was Jack Quaid.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's so Stu Macher coded. Like, I feel like it was like, oh, it's Jack Quaid. And also what he did in Hunger Games.
Oh yeah. In Hunger Games, he was a menace. Like he was a menace in the Hunger Games.
I feel like it was easily capable of doing that. But yeah, I thought it was really great. I thought because obviously all of these are sort of satire-esque. They take it seriously, but it's still like a satire of other slasher movies. And I thought the first one was obviously incredible, but I thought the only one to do it pretty much as good was Scream 5, because again, like I talked about Scream 3, I thought it's like it was doing the thing that trilogies do, but it didn't work for it ultimately. Scream 2 I think Scream 2 was the most like just straightforward slashery of all of them, and sort of took a step back on the sort of satire. But this one, they did the whole thing with the reboot. They literally within the same movie, they were like, oh, they're doing a reboot, but with all the same characters, so it's not really a reboot, it's a sequel, but it's but there's also a new cast, so it is a reboot. But so that was I thought that was really smart. I was totally convinced before I saw these the newer Screams that Jenna Ortega was going to be like Sydney's daughter, because there's a resemblance there. Yeah, I was like, because especially in the first one, because she even has like the bangs and shit. I was like, oh, so Jenna Ortega is going to be her daughter. But nope, that is not the case. But yeah, I thought, speaking of the new cast, I thought the new cast was really, really solid. But then there's Scream 6, which I thought was a step down. I think I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10. Did I say, I gave Scream 5? I gave Scream 5 a 9 out of 10. But yeah, Scream 6, I give a 7.5. It's just not as good. Just not as good.
Yeah, it's crazy because like, when you said that, because like people like feel the opposite. People feel like that Scream 6 is better than Scream 5. And
it's more brutal. I'll give it that. I did like that.
It is more brutal. But one of the things that I can understand from some people is that like, because it's centered in NYC, that they didn't go all the way with it, you know.
I guess I did like the change of scenery.
Yeah, I did like it too, because it fits with the second one, you know, that the kids all go to college. But yeah, I mean, I think Scream 6 is a little better than Scream 5, in my opinion. 5 cream.
It's crazy to me. I thought the killers were incredibly obvious.
In Scream 6?
Yeah.
I saw that through a second watch. Because
well, yeah, you know who what?
No. Like, I'm saying like I like to figure out like who's doing who. The dad was obvious because of the shotgun. Because like anyone using a shotgun like that besides the dad.
But it was also like, yeah, I mean, the killers were like, I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like the siblings. Just I don't like them.
Yeah, the only one that I didn't guess was Quinn, but then it made sense towards the end when I watched it the first time.
Because the thing about, other than 3, pretty much all the killers are likable.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and this one I couldn't give a shit about any of them. Mm. But I knew right off the bat that like, oh, it was someone connected to Jack Quaid's character. That was obvious right off jump. And yeah, I didn't know that they were siblings. I knew it was the dad. That was obvious. Like it was telegraphed like it was like right in your face. And I was like, okay. I did like the set piece with all the memorabilia and stuff like that. Again, more brutal. You had the double knife clean thing. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was
too
crazy.
bad it was done by two pieces of shit. Two trash characters. But yeah, I thought it was fine. I did like that Kirby was back. But yeah, other than that, I thought it was a step down in my opinion. But I do like how these newer ones are more brutal. I'm excited for the next one, which is probably going to happen. Little sad that the directors aren't coming back. But I'm sure it'll be fine. But yeah, that's pretty much that's my rundown of the Scream franchise. Pretty good shit. It's good shit. Good movies. Except a couple of them. Good movies. Can't believe no one told me about them. That's sad.
But yeah.
Is that the show?
That is a show.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening to Avengers Podcast. If you want to follow us, we're at Avengers on Twitter. That's AVENGE Nerds. All one word. If you want to follow either one of us, you can reach me at @Zenith_ on Twitter. Where can they reach you?
At Touring Guy on Instagram.
Awesome. We also have a Discord if you'd like to join the conversation there. Those will be linked in the show notes. You can also check out our link tree for any additional links you may be interested in. You can also review the show in-app on Apple Podcasts. If you leave 5 stars in a review, it would really help us out. Thanks again for listening to Avengers Podcast. We'll see you next week.
Later.